That is one way to do it, and I just rocked way too hard, and I just totally blew that string right off the old fretboard there. Yeah.
Are we gonna change it? And we're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
Well, Coffee and Pedals.
Episode
4.
There
Yeah.
we go.
We know how to count.
Sure we do.
Ah.
I mean, I'm a guitar player. I can only count to 4.
This is true. Most drummers can only count to 4 too.
Yeah, I heard that joke from a drummer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Matt MacArthur,
And I am not. No, I'm Josh. Theobald, if you must know.
and welcome everybody. We're very excited today to bring to you a couple of Charvel Pro Mod Plus SoCal Style 1.
Wow.
And because, the Charvel would be kind of like one of your number one choices for anybody who's looking for like an absolute shred stick, an absolute, if like in the world of hard rock, heavy metal, it's got, all your sort of necessary like tools and gadgets that you need for really high velocity, high octane kind of playing.
Right.
One of which, one great feature, one of the many great features is the Floyd Rose locking system.
Good point.
And with the whole system is there, it's like, well, Jimi Hendrix back in the day, he could have used, like a Floyd Rose back in the day.
Wow, I feel like him going out of tune was part of the charm of his playing a little bit.
Oh,
but
yeah, 'cause he'd be like,
granted, it would have sounded friggin' sweet if he did not go out of tune as well. Though it still sounded sweet when he did. That's just Jimmy for you.
That's just Jimmy for you. But with a system like this, which has remained relatively unchanged in its design since its inception.
When was that?
Early 80s or so.
I want to say early 80s.
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s. You can, dive right down and come back in the same zip code that you started with.
Give us a taste.
For example.
And that still comes in at E, I imagine.
Absolutely.
Or whatever.
Yeah, and so this is kind of designed for, this sort of setup is for like the mid-level to professional sort of player that's looking for that particular hard rock sound.
Sure.
If you got, your Seymour Duncan distortion pickups there. I have an Ebony fretboard, and you've got a caramelized maple.
Not only maple, but the caramelized version of it, yes. Just in time for the fall season, where we're having caramel apples and caramelized onions and pecan pie with caramel dipping sauce. No, totally, man. These are really nice. Let's a quick aside here.
Yes.
Dear viewer, this show is called Coffee and Pedals. If you've been sticking with us since season 1, we occasionally will do a guitar episode featuring pedals.
Featuring pedals.
The main course of this Thanksgiving episode, it's not really, we're past Canadian Thanksgiving. I don't know how many of y'all are Americans or celebrating Harvest Festival in the UK, for example, but
Yeah, we could line this up to come up for American Thanksgiving, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
I have fully digressed at this point. Point being, we're not really talking about pedals tonight. We're talking about these brand new glorious shred sticks from, honestly, one of our favorite companies, Charvel.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's many great guitars in this sort of ilk. Many companies that have like the sort of the Floyd Rose locking kind of system. Double humbuckers. Ibanez is a great example.
Oh, big time.
ESP, etc.
Yes.
But Charvel, pretty iconic, and there's a lot of iconic players out there.
One or two.
Mostly ranging in like the kind of the hard rock heavy metal universe. Like you've got Rat, you got Steel Panther, you got Jake E. Lee.
You got Jakey.
The guy from Bark at the Moon.
The man himself.
The man himself.
Yes. Hope you're doing better, Jakey.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Guthrie Govan
Yeah.
as well. Modern, legendary shredder extraordinaire.
Great modern,
Tasteful shredder, too.
very tasteful, very, very great guitar shop music. That's for sure.
Good guy, I understand. He's very soft-spoken and just like a chill guy.
Wizard-like.
He's a little wizard-like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mysterious even.
Yeah, and so, I mean, let us know in the comments some of your favorite artists that you think that would benefit from using the Charvel.
Right.
Because, it is like a mid to pro level sort of guitar.
Yeah.
And, it can suit hard rock, heavy metal, jazz fusion,
Sure.
progressive metal.
Why not?
It's not just a one-trick pony. It can cover kind of all the bases.
A lot of tricks.
Yeah, a lot of tricks, a lot of tips. And the Seymour Duncan pickups, even clean. Well, and I'll just do a little bit.
Why
of
not
playing here.
demonstrate?
So you've got your thick flavors, and you've got your in between, like sparkly,
decorative flavors.
Decorative flavors,
Yeah.
indeed. So you can in the course of a power ballad, you'll be like. And then you'll hit the old big button there. And that's where the crowd will go wild.
Yes, presumably.
Presumably. Yeah. But so I mean, that's kind of like the old features here. I mean, another great feature if you're on, like, say, a darkened stage.
Oh.
You've got.
Oh.
So picture this. Mm-hmm. You're on the darkened stage.
Right.
The dry ice, the lasers, the dark,
chimes.
the darkness, the chimes. Exactly. So you're in the dark. You're starting that power ballad up. You can't see a thing. Can't see it. That's every guitar player's worst nightmare. You can't see. But however, on this, you have these glow-in-the-dark little dots.
Yeah.
Luminlay dots on your neck there.
Luminlay or Lumile?
Luminlay.
Lumin, there's an N there. Yeah, I was checking these out earlier. Honestly, these suckers, they glow. They glow pretty good. I feel like under stage lights, they might be exposed to more light for longer, stronger light. I was sitting back there with my cell phone flashlight, going right up to those suckers and just juicing them up. And, like, honestly, even with the full lights on in our shop here, yeah, they were glowing. They were glowing.
Yeah, so they definitely, designed this with the performer in mind.
Absolutely. Well, which is cool because honestly, this is also a guitar that it's a little more expensive than some guitars, but it's a lot less expensive than a lot of guitars. And when I'm holding it, this really feels like it's up to the snuff of, like, your big American-made guys, whereas this is made in Charvel's beautiful Mexico factory with very few other Charvels I could find being made in America. The Jakey Lee model actually was, I think, the only one I noticed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Viva la Charvel.
Vive la Charvel.
And and another part of any kind of really good pro-built mid to pro level guitar is its comfortability across the neck.
Of course it is.
And so for you shredders that care about this sort of spec, it's these kind of numbers. It's got a 12 to 16-inch compound radius. So you're just getting up there, and you've got, well, it's more dramatic.
Go for it. Take it.
Unless you want to shred.
I can try.
I think it might be your turn.
A little out of practice. Down here you can do your bar chords are a little easier thanks to the more familiar radius of what'd you say, 12-inch?
12 to 16 inches.
It's a Gibson inch radius up here. Like that, right? But then you go up on top here and you start getting. I suck at this. That sounds really weird, dude.
Maybe you need some more.
Oh, you know what it was? Because I don't have my volume knob all the way up. Anyway, now if you were actually proficient at shredding, that would become a lot more apparent, but Alas.
Well, yeah. So, but the whole function is that as you get up there, it gets like nice and comfortable, nice and easy to express yourself on the really tiny strings up on the really close together frets. There.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure the science behind that. Rounder radius, like a little easier for chording. I guess that's why they kind of made guitars with like 7.25 back in the day. Modern guitars or Gibsons from the start, you know, have always been in that 12-inch vicinity. And classical guitars, like what is that, like a 24-inch radius or something?
Oh yeah.
It's like flat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just flat.
Unforgiving territory.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You'd have to basically be Segovia to put up with that kind of punishment. But yeah, this is just like built for shred, built for style, and beautiful colors schemes.
Yeah,
I'm
okay with the colors. You know, I mean, these are pretty bright for my taste personally, but it is alluring nevertheless. Like I do find my eye just drawn to this. And working in a guitar shop, like one thing I always tell people, I'm looking for a guitar. Maybe it's their first guitar. I'm like, what draws you in? Like what grabs the eye and locks you and like makes you want to pick it up, you know? And a lot of that does have to do with the color and the shape.
Yes.
Great album.
Great album. Yeah. And so like, and so I've got like the candy apple red. Mine's got gold on it.
You got gold on yours. I got this black. Yeah. How much more black could it be?
The answer is none.
None. None more black.
But but these, like stylistically, it's a different kind of thing. It's not like your like typical like standard kind of like Gibson Les Paul kind of vibe, your sort of classic rock vibe.
Yeah.
Like this vibe is more like did you want to be my wah pedal?
Yeah, I'll be
jockey?
your wah guy. So we didn't really think this through, guys. Like we put a wah on the board and then forgot that it's not on the floor. Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
That is one way to do it.
That is one way to do it, and I just rocked way too hard, and I just totally blew that string right off the old fretboard there. Yeah.
Are we gonna change it?
You know what?
All right. Hey.
And we're back.
And we lost our train of thought.
Yeah.
But I think we got all the important things talked about here.
Yeah, sometimes you just shred so hard, you just pop a string. I think that's the first string pop in the Coffee and Pedals history.
I'm not gonna go back and rewatch every episode. What I do like about this guitar, and what I think you will like about this guitar as well, a little feature here. Oh, they call this the handshake, don't they? The handshake neck bevel, neck pocket.
That's pretty.
The recessed screws. It's quite cool.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Isn't it? It's the little things.
It's the little things indeed.
I mean, here's another thing I wanted to mention about Charvel as well. One thing that I like about them as a company, about what they've always been, they are shred sticks. Everyone knows this, but they don't really look like a shred stick.
Yeah, they're not like super pointy.
That's the thing. And all respect to the Mockingbird and everything like that, but...
And the Flying V.
They're like secret agent kind of guitars. Like you wouldn't expect that there would be so much shred under the hood. And yet here we are.
Here we are. Here we are.
Breaking strings and forgetting where our volume knobs are. And
yeah, well, I think the lesson here is that these are designed to be just on 10.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Wow. Should we give people a little tour of what our pedal selection is today?
We could. I mean, I'm a little bit. The other thing I wanted to kind of bring up was the selector switch here. We didn't talk about that.
Oh yes.
Yeah. We were trying to figure this out, and so break it down. See if I can remember. You got two humbuckers, and you got a 5-way selector. Curiouser and curiouser. All right. So if I recall, I think this is exactly what you'd expect it to be. I don't know if we're getting a close-up on that, but we're down the bridge position, right? Okay, that I believe is your full bridge humbucker. That. Pretty unmistakable.
Rock.
If I'm not mistaken as well, that is your neck pickup. All right, and I believe in the middle is both of them. You'd expect all that. There's was that Green Day thing again.
Yeah. Very,
Minor key.
very huge, very funky.
Yeah, which leaves us with 2 additional positions, which, if I'm not mistaken, this is outside bridge?
Yes.
All right, so yeah, that brings it down to there, which I'll try and play something with a little more flavor. That is for sure a single coil sound.
Yeah, you can get that bluesy,
Yeah.
out of phase kind of sound.
Little
and
bit.
just- yeah.
And we got this guy, which I think was the outside of the neck. It's about as like far from the bridge as you can be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is. You got to go all the way.
Right down the depths. Well, and that's the thing about like these kind of guitars is that, the more you sort of play around with them, the more just become ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of like your.
This guy over here, I tells you. The other thing I noticed by my mistake earlier was when I had my volume knob rolled all the way down, it like wasn't all the way down. So once again, here's all the way up, bridge pickup again. But now let's take that down, and it sounded real scrongly, guys. Which I think would sound really cool, and segueing our way into the next segment where we actually do talk a little bit about the pedals, but not in depth. The neutrino envelope filter from Keeley. It already kind of sounded like an envelope filter though, right?
Almost, yeah.
Like in a weird way. And now let's put it actually on.
It's very funky. Very
It kind of gets
funky
along
indeed.
really well in that. I don't know what to call that. We didn't do enough research on why all the way down is not off. So let's go all the way up and do a little comparison
Let's
because
do it.
I like the neutrino. I honestly, dude, these are fun to jam on.
They're really fun to jam on, and like the great thing about like your Seymour Duncan kind of like super distortion, or just any kind of Seymour Duncan pickup is that it's kind of almost like the only pickup of choice. Well, not the only because there's DeMarzio, there's all kinds of flavors. But
yeah.
you can't go wrong with the Seymour Duncans, and kind of one of my favorite kind of flavors. If you're like into sort of like Iron Maiden,
I am.
There's a player named Dave Murray who plays a lot on the old neck pickup here for his shredding, and I think that might sound good with the Diamond Memory Lane
Well,
pedal.
I don't see why. Hey, now that's a Canadian-made pedal, isn't it?
It sure is, Josh.
Wow.
Wow, what a world we live in.
You might want to switch here.
Thank you.
Bingo.
And now let's.
Do you want me on wah duty again?
Nah,
we'll skip it.
I'm just gonna go full on like. That's how I express myself through my solos.
That's pretty cool, man. I don't know. Maybe we're reaching a point in history where, now, you're a pretty good shredder. I have my moments, but I'm not going to pretend. Where, like, your average dude like me can rock a Floyd Rose and, like, just be for the utility of the thing, you know? There's definitely, like, a market for, and honestly, and this doesn't just stop at Floyd Rose, because Charvel does make non-Floyd Rose guitars.
Yeah, they make hardtails as well.
They make, and one of our friggin' favorite guitars in the shop is a hardtail.
The hot pink one, which we featured in episode 1.
We salute you, Hot Pink Guitar.
Of season 2.
It's off camera right now, but
Yeah.
well, yeah.
That's a key for you to watch episode 1 of season 2.
Yeah, honestly, I'm full on like a Gibson guy. Like I am very much like, yeah, let's go, like Tony Iommi and stuff like that. Yeah, these things get me thinking though. Sometimes when I start playing them and I get into a bit of a flow with them, I had a shaky start. I'm not going to deny that, but like. Once I get a bit of a flow with these things, you really see that this culmination of all these minute details on paper actually add up to like a pretty big improvement from the same guitar that's being built since 1958. Folks, we've made improvements, and I think Charvel is a testament to that, and for less than the cost of an American-made Fender, no offense, Fender.
Yeah, no, it's definitely definitely in the ballpark, like budget-wise too.
Yeah.
And you just get more features here. And I'm just like thinking because Charvel's pretty famous for being like an '80s hard rock kind of vibe there. But it would behoove your players out there.
Would it behoove them
to think outside the box, to use a guitar like this in maybe like a different context?
Sure.
You could use it for surf rock, maybe.
I don't see why not.
Like your typical surf rock played with like Strats and stuff. But what if you're on like the little out of phase pickup here?
I thought it sounded pretty good, but yeah.
But just like because you can get to more like bizarre places, like, and come back in the same zip code that you're at. So you could think
postal code, dude. This is a Canadian production.
Postal code. My apologies. And you could get more subtle with it. Like you could get more psychedelic. You could get. You could like think outside the box. I know the look of it is super like, hard rock.
A little bit, but it still just looks like a Strat to me,
At the end of the day, I think the point that we're landing on here is that the Charvel is way more versatile than the box that one would typically think it would be put into. So get a Charvel, get a Floyd Rose guitar, and explore. Even if you're not in the hard rock universe.
Yeah.
Like, think outside that universe.
I get people all the time, they've never even heard of Charvel, and I'm like, nothing surprises me at this point of my life, but I'm a little bit like, you should have, though, because these are awesome. Like, by all means, put one in your hands, check it out. Like, I don't know, roll up to your local guitar or wherever in the world you are and just like, try a Charvel, guys. Do yourself a favor.
Or Tapestry music.
Or Tapestry music, because we're way better than those other guys there, and we're gonna have to edit that part out, aren't we? Yeah.
It could be just one big old beep there, but I think what we're getting at here is come check it out. We carry lots of Charvels, and don't forget to also like and subscribe and check these out in store and online, and. Maybe we should play the folks out. Who wants to take this one?
I feel like it's always you. I'll do it.
Okay. Any particular flavor you want there?
Oh, hit me up with some, just all of the effects, all of them.
Oh God.
Every single one.
Thank you. Good night.